Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. Tisha here, back for another review of My Five Wives, Season 1, Episode 4. While Brady's away, the wives will play. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button as we jump into this episode. So, we begin the episode with Brady on a video call with his father, who's named Rod. I laughed a little bit when I saw him trying to tell his dad how to work this device as he is on the phone with him, trying to get him to work the computer. I think we've all experienced one of these calls, whether we were the person struggling with technology or it was someone else on how to work the camera. So Brady points out how his dad can survive the woods and how he can climb mountains and go scuba diving. But when it comes to technology, he struggles. So, after getting some assistance from one of Brady's sisters by the name of Molly, his dad is finally in the frame on the camera, and he also can now see his son. He is so excited to see Brady. Like there's a genuine, oh my gosh, son, I can't see my son. Oh, there my son is. Like it's very much so. He's excited to see his boy. So Brady lets his dad know that he and Rhonda will be arriving shortly because they're coming to Washington to celebrate their 10th anniversary. Now they're 4 years late in having this 10-year celebration, but they're going. As previously discussed in the first episode, they celebrate milestones like 5 and 10 and so on. So when you get to 10 years, what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to have a week out of town with Brady. So Brady is coming and his father can't wait to have him not only come, but for them to explore a new trail where they can look for Bigfoot. I thought he was joking at first. But he's serious. Like he really wants to go and look for Bigfoot. So apparently, Rod really believes in it. I don't know if I believe in Bigfoot, but I do believe that there are um creatures and beings and things of that nature out there that we don't know about. Like we have not explored everything. So there's no way that we can know everything that's out there. So the family all meets up for dinner. That's all the wives as well as the children because they're doing their usual family dinner. Because in this family, unlike Cody's family, they have not stopped this. This is something that they're going to continue to do, which is have family dinners. So Brady lets the children know that he is going to be leaving with Aunt Rhonda in the morning and they're heading to Seattle. Here's the thing. I don't really like the Aunt Rhonda talk. It's something about calling it like Aunt Rhonda instead of just saying, Miss Rhonda or something like that, that kind of rubs me wrong because they're not actually their aunts. But then again, I can't say that because I have older cousins who, out of respect, I call them auntie or uncle, even though they're not my aunts and uncles. So I don't know. It's just something about you calling someone aunt that you know that your mom is married to or sharing with another woman. Okay, I'm going too far. Let me reel it on back in, okay? So Rhonda is excited to get multiple days alone with her man, as well as head to Seattle because unlike some of the other wives, she wants to move there. She originally didn't want to. She was against it for years because it was far away from their families. But after going out there so much, she has come to love it there. The wives are sad at the thought of Brady going away for a whole week. They're going to miss their husband because they're accustomed to seeing him every day. Even though it's not for long periods of time, they know that they at least have family dinner to see him. And now with him going away, they're not even going to get that. So it's Noni's night. We find out that she's going to be the one looking after Rhonda's children while Brady and Rhonda are on their anniversary trip. She says that she has 5 children of her own and it's more responsibility and it can be overwhelming. I'm wondering why, like one of her children wasn't assigned to a mom? Like, why didn't we, break it up a little bit? But then part of me wonders if maybe they all came over to Noni's house. Like, what exactly did that look like in them watching them? Because it just seems like, why, if she's going to be overwhelmed by having to take care of all those kids, then why have Noni take care of all of them? Why not, kind of divvy it up a little bit? But I'm just wondering. So Brady lets her know that one of the things that he appreciates about his wives is how they step up and cover each other. He knows that it's hard caring for her own children on top of others, but he knows that the wives love each other and they love each other's children. That is one thing that I've noticed about this family, is there does seem to be a lot of intermingling. Like when it came to the Browns, it was our kids, Robin's kids, Christine's kids, Mary's kid, Janelle's kids. Whereas here, it's more so ours. Like, yes, we know that they have different numbers, but they seem to kind of look out for each other a little bit more. Y'all tell me what you think. So he says he knows, the wives already said that. The wives talk about how that's one of the things that they love about their family, that there are mothers to do mothering when they are not around. Robin says there have been times where she was gone and one of the kids might have been sick or something like that, and the school may have called, and the school has the other mom's numbers and they can contact them. And because she knows how much these other ladies care for her kids, it's not something that she has to worry about. The same can't always be said. We've read a lot of polygamous books on this channel, and we've heard a lot of instances where moms take out their frustration on other mothers' kids, or they're abusive towards them and things of that nature. So the fact that these women trust one another in watching their children or keeping their children, it says a lot to me about their dynamic. Now, they're not perfect. I see some little displays of jealousy and loneliness and insecurity here and there, but they seem to kind of work through it a little bit better, at least for now. She talks about the village. Um, as a single mom, having a village is very important. I will never, this is off topic. Y'all know I do this sometimes. I will never forget. I think my son was in, like, I want to say he was in third or fourth grade. Had to be third because I wasn't living where I am now. So he was in third grade. And I got a phone call from the school saying that they were, letting out school early because of inclement weather. I got a phone call from before and after care saying that they would not be keeping any children after school because of inclement weather. So I go to tell, the director that I have to leave early because I have to go get my child. And this lady says to me, "You don't have a plan B?" I said, I'm plan B and C and D. And I left. I left. And then when I came back the next day, I gave her an earful in that nice, nasty way. You know how you curse people out without cursing them out? You keep it nice, nasty, professional. Yeah, that's what I did. And she ended up apologizing. And after that, before she retired, we actually, had a mutual respect for one another. And she sincerely, like, even I want to say less than a year later, had wrote me this long letter apologizing about the situation because she says she was wrong. I need to see if I still have that letter. Anyways, the point is, they have a village. And that is one thing, if it's done the right way, that I can see being a positive aspect of this family, is the fact that there are other people who are willing to step in, who are treating your kids right. So Brady says that saying it takes a village to raise a child is them. Like, they actually have a village. So it's time for the trip. Rhonda has a little bit of anxiety about getting on a plane, but she's prepared to pop those anxiety pills. Brady is going from home to home and making sure that he not only says goodbye to each one of his wives, but he hugs them, kisses them, and tells each one of them that he loves them. Like he literally does it to each one of them. Once again, I am noticing that there is not a difference in the way that he's treating his wives. He very much so seems to love them all of his wives say that there is jealousy when it comes to another wife being able to go on a trip like this and spending additional time, because naturally they want to be able to do that themselves, but they know it's not their turn. They wish they could be having fun with him and they wish they could be spending time with them, but that's not what's happening. What's happening is they're all alone. So Rhonda and Brady arrive in Washington. As they are heading to his parents' house, the discussion of moving there comes up. Brady says that he knows some of the wives aren't fully on board. He knows that Polly is one of them, that she doesn't want to leave her family. I kind of don't like the fact that he's having this discussion with Rhonda. I feel like sometimes when it comes to these dynamics, they cross lines. If the marriages are supposed to be separate, let them be separate, right? I get that this is something that Rhonda is more than likely aware of too, but it just feels a little cringy to me when you're doing this and the person you're talking about isn't there. So he says he knows it's going to be challenging to get everyone on board. He knows that there's going to be some work that has to be done in order to get everyone to agree. So Rod is outside. That's Brady's dad, with his arms wide open, waiting for his son. He and his dog are out there. We are reminded that Brady was raised as a mainstream, his words, Mormon. When he was 16, his dad converted to a fundamentalist Mormon church. They, of course, believed in the practice of polygamy. Now, Brady says at first he was confused at the thought of his father wanting to be a polygamist. He thought his dad had messed things up trying to be with more than one woman. But he did some research on his own. He read some things and he too eventually became to believe in it. So his father at one point had three wives, but the second wife left. Now we don't know when that wife left, but she left. So he currently now has two wives. So we meet Brady and his mother Stella. I don't know if, and you tell me down below because I don't remember. I don't remember where the other wife lives, if she lives with them or not, if there's a separate dwelling or whatever, because the way that they got there and they climbed up this set of stairs on the outside in order to get in the house, and when they were leaving they went down those stairs even though it was slippery. I'm thinking that maybe they all reside in the same house and maybe the mom is on the upper level and the other mom is on another. I don't know, but you all let me know what you think. So we meet Stella. She became a polygamist because of her husband. It seems like this is often the case where these women are not originally planning on being polygamous, but they have a husband who wants to join it and then they follow. Um, she is a breast cancer survivor. And although chemotherapy took a toll on her emotionally and physically, she is starting to bounce back. The entire time, Brady is talking about his mother. I found myself smiling just because looking at her, you would never know based on what he's saying that she went through that. So it's just beautiful to see how she's been able to come out of it. I know myself, as well as some of you all, have lost people from cancer. So when you hear a story like that where there is remission and where people are doing well, it makes you, feel happy for those people who were able to, keep fighting. She is currently pursuing her associate's degree. She's went back to school. She's described as a wonderful mother and a wonderful sister wife. Brady tells her that for her, because it's been 4 years of her being cancer free. So for the 5-year mark, he wants to throw her a party. And she's like, rather than doing a party, what I really like is for us to recreate that picture that we have, that family picture in the park. Now, I don't know if it's her entire family, like the kids and all of that, or the grandkids or what, but she wants to recreate that picture. So even though Brady knows some of his wives don't want to move, they start talking about moving and land. His parents would love for him to be close, especially his father. He would love to be able to have his kids around and his grandchildren around so he can spoil them and make memories with them. His mom lets him know there's land available that's not too far away. There's 5 pieces of developed land, I believe she said. And when I heard her say that, I was like, okay, this isn't Coyote Piss Pass. This ain't Poolville. This is really gonna be something that's developed. So it's not far from them. So they plan on going to check it out. Even though Rhonda feels bad that the other ladies can't see it, she wants to go. His mother jokes about how if they were to move there because of how large their family is, that the school district population would probably double. That makes me wonder just how small the area of town that they live in is. So back at the Williams, it's family dinner time. There's a lot of commotion and a lot of sad looking moms. I don't know what it is about these ladies, but they really do look sad, and some of them more than others. Like I noticed that a lot of times in Robin's scenes, she looks sad when she's talking to the camera. We did get to see her let loose a little bit later at Rosemary's, but they just look sad. So Brady calls Rosemary's phone to check on the family. He says that he's, very present with Rhonda, but his mind is still thinking about his family and all the things are waiting for him back home. He can't help but think about his responsibilities, which this all goes back to one of the reasons why his blood pressure is a problem. Think about it. You're always constantly thinking about stuff that you got to take care of. You can't really just live in the moment because you never know what's going to transpire when you have all those people that you're supposed to be taking care of. So he can't help but thinking about his responsibilities, all his loves, he says, and his children. They are never far from his heart or mind. I love the fact that he calls his wives his loves. Now, do I think that this would be for me? No, but Brady seems to be kind of, managing. He is a father, he is a husband. He's trying to show up more than what we've seen. So Noni hasn't made it over to the house yet when he calls. So he says, Robin, Polly, and Rose, I love you. And they all say it back at the same time. And once again, I can't help but think about the Browns. I don't recall this being a thing. I remember that time when the ladies were out of town on their trip and Cody had called, and a lot of the ladies talked or spoke of how uncomfortable they were in talking to him on the phone. Like they felt like, it should just be the two of them. Whereas these women, they have their moments of jealousy, but they're capable of telling their husband that they love him together. I don't recall seeing a lot of that with the Browns. That might be because he didn't, love them. So he says. Anyways, so Noni comes over. He tells her that he loves her, and the wives joke about how at least she got a personal I love you. And I don't think that they meant it as a dig. I think they actually were laughing about it. So after he gets off the phone, Brady goes to see his father, and his father is outside in his man cave, which is a teepee that he set up on the property. We find out that he reads out there, he studies out there, he even takes naps out there. He has a fire going, and it's bonding time for him and Brady. Rod lets us know that his teepee is sacred to him, that any man who enters the principal needs to have one of these things. They need to have a place that they build that's a big doghouse, especially if his wives are mad at him. We hear about how Brady, like this is his element. Brady loves outdoors to the point where Brady went an entire year without wearing shoes, that he even did it in church. His father said, "You were a barefoot bishop in a Mormon church." I would have loved to see that. I wish they tell us more about the reasons for them leaving, to the point where, like, we know they drink, but I want to know what else about your old um faith do you no longer believe in? Like, what is the difference? What is the big thing that makes these people upset with you, other than the fact that you're probably not tithing to them? Why else are they upset that you left? What is the big difference in your belief system and theirs? I really, really wish that they would break that down for us on the show. So we see Brady and Rhonda go out for a nice dinner. I noticed right away that she has wine and he has beer as they do their toast to 10 I mean 14 years. They discuss their history. As a reminder, Rhonda dated Brady first. The first place that he ever took her out on a date was for ice cream in his blue pickup truck. Rhonda says that he was wonderful when she first fell in love with him, that they were teenagers. I'm not quite sure of the timeline because one minute she's saying they were teenagers, the next he's saying that they were 20. So it's making me feel like they dated more than once off and on. He said he was very into her, but she got cold feet. What happened was she heard a rumor that supposedly was said by his mother that they were planning a wedding in April. His mom never said that, but she got scared about how quickly things were moving. And at that point, at 20, they both went separate ways. So they dated 10 years before he married her. He dated Robin and she dumped him following that. Then he dated Polly and they got married. I understand that this is him telling the true story. I just wonder how Polly feels that you're saying that first you dated Rhonda, she dumped you, then you dated ooh, that quick I forgot. Robin and she dumped you. So then you date Polly and y'all got married. I hope that this isn't news to her. I hope that this isn't a repeat of Christine finding out something via a book or on a couch interview. And this is something that he discussed with her prior to all of this off camera. So, Paulie and Brady dated and got married, and then he dated Robin again and got married. Then he dated Rosemary, married her, then Noni married her, and then he says it ended where it started, which was with Rhonda, and he married her. Rhonda says that she liked him often, and it would be off and on during that entire 10-year period. And every time she thought he would, maybe they could, try, he would go and marry another wife. He's a polygamist. What else do you expect, especially after the third wife? You should have known he was pulling them up. I'm just saying, like, what girl? I don't know. Anyways, so Brady's talking about how he feels cheated out of 10 years with her, as does she. Ronnie then tells us, that it's hard on her when he says these things. It makes her sad because there were times where she wondered if she was first wife material. Girl, he wanted you before he wanted any of them. You didn't want him. I'm confused because she's talking like she didn't eventually marry this man, and she did. It happened the way that it happened. So Brady says after her, his heart is full. Rhonda wants to know if it's full enough to adopt. Girl, you already know that he's gonna adopt with you. He already told you how many episodes ago that he was going to. So I don't get why we keep hearing about this whole adoption storyline. And y'all already know I don't feel like it's fair to the other kids in the family. But his heart is big enough because he says yes, they can talk to someone regarding adoption. I thought you already said this a couple episodes ago, but here we are hearing it again. If she was really serious about this, she would have brought herself, in my opinion, y'all tell me yours, to an adoption agency and had a discussion then. You keep on like waving it in front of the camera, dangling it in front of his face. Do you really, really want to go through with this? Because it doesn't seem like you've taken the necessary steps. It kind of seems like you're being a little lazy about it, in my opinion. So we come back from commercial break, ready to go look for Bigfoot. Brady and his father have adorned themselves with their Sasquatch catching attire, kilts. It is Brady's first time. He has on underwear while his father proceeds to take off his underwear, toss it towards his wife, and say, "Burn it." I laughed because the fact that this man is going commando in the woods, I just started thinking about like crawly things and things of that nature. Y'all, when I went camping, I think I said this before. I'm gonna say it again, especially for those of you who are new. When I go to sleep, I don't like to have on clothing. When I went camping, I had on clothing. I didn't need anything to crawl anywhere where it wasn't supposed to be. So him in the forest without any underwear on had me laughing, especially watching him like climb over things. Maybe when the camera like turned away for a little bit, he put it back on. But to my knowledge, he was commando. So he's climbing over stumps and making Bigfoot calls while his boys, you know what I'm saying by his boys, his manhood is out. Now we don't see it, but he has on a kilt. So you can imagine, it's free there. Brady joins in on the Sasquatch calls. Brady's enjoying it. His father's enjoying it. He really, really wants to find a way to get out there, especially because he says growing up, he was surrounded by not just mountains, but trees and the ocean. And it was beautiful for him. And he wants his kids to experience that. With the family leaving the church, we're told that it's been tough for them. When they moved to where they are currently, it was under the guise that, they shared this belief system. But now that they've changed, it's changed the way the church feels about them. And they look at them as if they're bad. So they're uncomfortable. And out of respect for them, Rhonda says that Brady wants to move. There's no way that you be pushing me out, especially if you didn't have anything to do with the home that I reside in. This isn't a thing like, the UEP where you own my property. This is a thing where we live here and we just so happen to be in a community that has a lot of you all in it. But that doesn't mean just because you want me to move, I gotta move. So Rhonda and Brady check out a property that's near water, mountains, and trees. Brady has officially, in my opinion, pulled a Cody because he's sending a picture of the property to his wives that he checked out with Rhonda, even though he already knows how they feel about this. So the wives are together and they get the picture, and most of them are disappointed, maybe a little upset, because they feel like this is something that they should be doing together as a family. I agree. Don't do things like that and not include me in on it because it feels a little sneaky to me. But you all tell me your opinion. And I don't think that he meant any harm by it, but I don't necessarily feel like it was right to do it the way that he did, especially because you didn't tell them prior to leaving that you were thinking about going and checking out property. You were just going to see your dad and enjoy your anniversary with your wife. So Noni keeps asking everyone how they feel without stating how she feels. And they've already said how they feel. They want to be included. She asks, what's an ideal place in your mind? Rosemary loves the idea of Seattle. She wants them to decide together, though. She doesn't want it to be a thing where they're being told. I can understand that. Paulie says it's like Brady and Rhonda are deciding where we're gonna move, and I'm not still sure. Just say you don't want to go, Paulie, because it's clear that you don't. Every time they talk about it, you get uncomfortable. You don't want to move, and that's okay. Um, Rod has invited his children over for dinner. There are 13 of them altogether. 6 of Brady's siblings are there that night. 4 wives and the children are back at the Williams home in Utah. They end up calling Brady. They get on the video call. Everybody saying hi. They want to see grandma. Yada, yada, go. It's a cute moment. So while that's going on, dinner wraps up. The wives have their own time. It's kind of like a girls' night. So Rosemary is the host. We're told how in their previous church you're not supposed to drink. Noni says that the first time she drank, she felt like she was sinning. None of them are heavy drinkers. Rosemary remembers her father having wine in his fridge and it went untouched for 6 years. Rosemary says in the Bible, it says that Christ turned water into wine. So she always wondered why they couldn't do it. It's giving girls' night, like I said. I wrote that in my notes. They're laughing and joking and trying to walk in a straight line. Noni does well, but Robin fails and she ends up stopping. I can completely understand this whole discussion about wine. I've said it before. My mom's side of the family are Seventh-day Adventists. They do not drink, they do not smoke, they don't eat a lot of things. It's a whole bunch of rules on that side. So growing up, that was very much something that was never in my mother's home. Never. She never had alcohol in her home. To the point where the first time I had a drink, I was 18 years old. I was away at college and I got tipsy off of a wine cooler. No, it was two sky blues. I don't even know if they make those anymore. But my point is, I can relate to them in saying that it's not something that was done in their homes. So they're laughing about the proper way to pronounce the different wine names and things of that nature, and enjoying not having to see Brady's reaction to their silliness, because I think it was Robin said sometimes he doesn't like when they're so silly, or they feel like they gotta kind of pull it in a little bit. And I'm watching them, and out of all of the wives, to me, and y'all tell me what you notice in the scene, Polly seems to be the most serious out of the bunch. There are moments where she laughs, but it doesn't go to her eyes. It's kind of like, I know that I'm supposed to laugh in this moment. I'm kind of having a little bit of fun, but I'm still going to make sure that I don't have too much fun. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreading it, overanalyzing it, but y'all tell me what you think. So the bottom line to all of that is the ladies are enjoying each other and they're lightweights. Before Brady and Rhonda leave, they go to the pier. She's ready to go home because she misses her babies. Brady tells her she's a good mom and wife. They talk about the possibility of moving there. He says for him, it's reaffirmed that this is where he wants to be. So he hopes that Rhonda can help convince them. As Brady is leaving, the hope is to bring the family back there in the summer. You can see them hugging each other, and his mom's like, I'm always, sad to see them go. And I can completely relate to that, because whenever I'm around family and it's time for me to come back here, I get depressed. Not like, oh, woe is me, but I get sad for a couple of days, just because I love my family. My family is far from perfect, but when we get together, it's just an enjoyable time. And then I come back to this area where I don't have a lot of family. My mom is here. That was the main reason why I came to this area, but I do not have a lot of family here. And it's not the same. Like seeing each other sporadically here and there, sometimes I wish I was so much closer. So I got what, his mom was saying in that moment. They get back home. Rhonda is excited to be greeted by her children. Nick is the baby. He's 2. He's really, really excited. Y'all, he's 2. I don't know what y'all did, but at 2 years old, my baby was not still drinking out of a bottle. He's still drinking out of a bottle and he still has on a diaper. My son was potty trained before that too. So maybe this is a common thing, but at what point are we going to get him off of these bottles? Like y'all keep he I get he's drinking milk, put it in a sippy cup. Like, what's up with all the bottles? Anyway, he got a whole bunch of teeth. Like, is that a myth? Anyway, I don't know. So Brady makes his rounds to all the wives and kids, hugging them, telling them he misses them. All his wives were lonely and they missed him a lot, and they're glad that he's home. Um, because when he's there, they can connect as couples. Brady says when he's home with all his wives and all of his children, that is when life is complete. And that is the end. Overall, this episode was cute. I hope y'all could hear it, because it was a lot of commotion going on over here. Like it's thundering and all that stuff right now. So hopefully my signal was good. Let me know what you thought about this episode. If there's something that I missed that you want to talk about, you know what to do. Put it down below. Until next time.